Hey y'all, how y'all doing? How your mama and them doing? Welcome back to the AudaSEWtea Podcast. I am one of your hosts, sometimes illustrious, sometimes a little rough around the edges,
Mm,
sometimes dull like a penny.
mm.
But I'm Julian of Julian Creates. Who am I talking with today?
This is an ever so slightly cranky Aaronica from Needle and the Bell.
And that's
I'm
fine.
I'm lacking on the illustrious this evening as well.
Look. Sometimes we got to fix the crowns and the lights got to dim a little bit, and it's okay. And
Yeah.
but we know the wattage is there to be bright as hell.
Ooh, I like that. Okay, Julian. Okay. Okay.
I'm just saying. I'm just saying. But welcome back, y'all. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. We do have. Would I be the asshole for you today? Okay.
Mm.
So this is a new one. We going in this real blind. We ain't ready yet.
Real blind.
Ooh, excuse me. Would I be the asshole for not sewing a distant friend's baby shower dress? I already think it's no, but let's see. Let's see.
Same. Same.
So I have a friend, and they put that in quotes, 39 female. I've known for 15 years. We often go through spells where I block her and then unblock her years later, thinking maybe
Block
she
and
matured.
unblock. No.
I wasn't
Mm-mm.
I wasn't ready. I wasn't ready. The last time we talked, I was pregnant and my baby is almost one. She was blocked and reached out to me through a professional social media site. Surprise, she's pregnant. Okay. So you done found other ways around.
Not me blocking you and you still being like, surprise, surprise.
Right. Look,
Mm-mm.
now she's showing back up like a clap or something.
Mm-mm. Not
Anywho,
the clap.
no, not the it's the hurt. It's the gift that keeps on giving
Mm-mm.
so often.
Nobody
Anywho,
wants
we're getting to it. So we can reconnect, and she's speaking about her baby shower. I volunteered to make her a dress for a low cost. I grossly undercharged because she started saying how she really didn't have money like that. Also, we agreed on a different design. We picked out what she wanted and everything. This is fine. When we get to the fabric store, she has a new plan. She wants
Mm-mm.
to look like, oh, wait a minute.
Mm-mm.
She wants to look like a hoe. Her
Is
word,
that what she said?
not mine.
Her words. Wow. Okay. Okay.
I should have noped out at that point, but
You
I'm
should have.
working through my boundary issues. Oh, that's a good one for today. And
Hmm.
sharing and changing my mind in the moment. When I saw her, I was genuinely shocked by her appearance. She didn't look like the woman I once knew. She was in a bad state. I was sad. She had holes in her shirt
Mm-mm.
and new face and neck tattoos. Her hair was matted. Her skin, once beautiful, was all marked up. She looked like she was hiding a black eye. Oh, Jesus.
Wow.
So she completely changed the design, changes this, chooses this hideous fabric, no matter the sense I made with going no matter the sense I made with going with her original idea, she had her mind made up and she wasn't changing. I should have told her since we're not doing the stuff originally designed with the fabric I recommend, I don't want to do it. But I didn't want to cause a scene.
Mm.
Would I be that asshole if I'm going to call and ask about refunds tomorrow or offer to buy the fabric? Tell her I can't do it and be through with her once and for all. I'm unmotivated to make what she wants, and I was going to take pictures for my portfolio, but I'm not interested in this look or even being associated with it, especially for the price. I was honestly shocked, and um I'm just now making clear of everything.
So you know what? I am gonna say she's the asshole
Okay.
because she had, and here's the thing, right? Like, she, let's say she's asshole adjacent because I too can tend to struggle with a boundary or two.
Correct. Me too.
So yes, I get it. Um, but I also think that she is. I don't want to say she's being elitist, but she's giving elitism because based upon how the young lady looks, based upon how she is showing up, she's making a different decision because if she was like not looking like a hot mess express, etc., and she wanted to look like a hoe, she may or may not be on board. So it's feeling like, yeah, like I feel like she should have established that boundary early on, right?
So she
When
should have
she,
established the boundary. She
yeah,
had multiple chances
yeah.
in the
So to leave her
process.
high and dry, I think that is very much so
Mhm.
asshole-ish, like you should just let her know. And I think that the reasoning of being this is not an aesthetic that I can create is an absolutely fine reason to step down from doing any type of project. Like I've
Mhm.
had someone ask me before to make like very much so, very similar in those words of I want to look like a hoe. And I was like, yeah, that's not really my aesthetic. It is, but I just didn't want to do it. Right.
Right. That's
But
real.
I think that it's fine to do that, but to then go on to say, "Oh, she looked, really bad," and be that as part of the reasoning why that is making me feel icky. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
Like
So,
that part there, I don't particularly like.
and I think that the poster there's some self-reflection that needs to happen.
Mm,
Literally, somebody has shown you who they are, and you will not believe them. When you gonna get up off the ground and stop being a mat?
yeah.
I mean, because clearly, if you keep on blocking her and unblocking her, there's something clearly that you want or something that you feel that you are needing.
Oh, yes.
Relationship that has not served you. And has shown
Oh,
time and again to not serve you.
yeah. Yeah. But it's
So
almost
you've been
like even
unblocking
that
for.
whole back and forth thing, like, listen, how old are we? How old are we to be going
Different.
back and forth like a block unblock stitch? No, listen, I was reading on Threads, I think it was last week.
Mm-hmm.
And first of all, this woman had a whole reason on why she doesn't go back to old friendships once she's walked away. And she was like, "You're not gonna play in my face twice." And I was like, "That's it, right? That's it right there."
As the old people say, you ain't about to piss on me and say it's rain.
Mm-mm.
But
Mm-mm.
here's the thing.
No.
So here's the thing with the poster. Because I'm asking, like, you up here doing all of this, going back and forth, you up here blocking, unblocking, doing this and the third. This person sought you out. Sought you out for no other reason but to say this. Okay. So there's some usury there. They knew that they could come to you and they were already planning to put this in play already. But then also,
Mm-hmm.
too, you doing all of this and you making all these concessions for somebody who ain't even dicking you down.
Oop,
You ain't even getting nothing from this. Y'all know what type of podcast this is. I'm gonna give you a little Jesus and a little hood. Praise the Lord. Um,
balance.
but like, which you ain't even getting a cheap thrill. A cheap
There's
thrill
no
out of it.
frills.
You ain't even get a little gas. So I mean,
Yeah, no. But you know what? And here's the thing, right? Like here's what I do respect about the person who obviously can't stay blocked, right? But she was like, I don't really have much of a budget. Like, thank you for saying that shit up front. You know what
right,
I mean?
right.
Because
That's
like
which is
imagine
good.
being like, oh yeah, I want you to make me X, Y, and Z. Never talking about the budget, never talking about pricing. And honestly, if we're being completely honest, talking about budget and talking about what we actually have available to us in our financial state, like sometimes even just broaching that subject is just not going to be existent until shit is done, right? Like I was watching on TikTok and this girl had just finished her nail. It was a nail tech who finished the girl's nails and she was like, "Okay, your balance is $85." And she was like, "No, my balance is 50." She was like, "No, your deposit was 50. I sent you an email for the balance of your nails." And she was like, "Well, I didn't get it." She said, "I sent it to the email that was on there." This girl knew good and well she didn't have $85 regardless because she may use the same link to make the deposit payment. If
See,
you don't have it, you don't have it. Let's be honest about it. Let's be upfront. Let's be frank and not find out after the fact. And then the girl clipped the nails off because she was like, "Well, you're not about to walk up out of here without paying." But
look,
here's what I
look,
respect about her. She was like, I'm not balling. I have a budget.
no. Yes.
So
And
respect to
that's the
her.
one thing I will ask of all my friends, because I don't ask for discounts. I'll ask how much does it cost? I may
Right.
not be able to get it now, but let me work towards it.
Let me work towards it because also if you're my friend, I'm trying to pay full price. Don't give me a
Right.
discount. I don't want the discount. I'm trying to
That's
pay
not
full price
necessary.
because I fully support you.
Exactly. It just might take if it's expensive, it might just take me a little bit, and that's
It might
okay.
take me a second, but I'm still
I'll
coming
ask,
back.
do you
Put my
got
shit up to the
Klarna? You
side.
take layaway? Don't give it to
Yep.
me yet. But
He
but
said
yeah,
Klarna. Yep. That's
afterpay,
exactly it. That's exactly it.
we don't
Yes.
mind. We'll
So
take it back to old Burlington and Value City days. I'll put a little on it. And
not
by the time school
Burlington.
come
Oh
out,
my
I'll
goodness.
take it out.
Oh my goodness. I didn't even know why Burlington stopped popping off the way that it used to.
Burlington sucks. I go in there for nothing. Like literally, it looks like La Rag bin from Living Single.
Oh my goodness. The last time that I went into there, I was in LA and I went to like the big one that's in downtown LA. And
Hmm.
I had just had Bo, and Bo was like, I think he was like 6 months old. And because we were flying from Atlanta where it was hot to
Right.
LA and it was not hot there at that point in time,
See,
dude, I had to go and buy him. Like went in there and bought him like a hat and some stuff. And I was like, oh, this shit is so nice. But that was what, 6 years ago? So
because this show enough ain't no more. Like I went in there because you used to be able to at least buy some dress clothes, a suit or
some
something,
shoes, a good
something.
jacket.
I went in there one day, and I was like, there was not a suit jacket or nothing in there. Usually, you used to be able to
Wow.
get a good Calvin Klein suit separates. You know, nothing, and I was pissed about it.
Yeah, I would have been too. Because like what are we doing?
And
Burlington,
and
like you
literally
had one job.
now, the one here, like by my house, they've shrunk it. It
Damn.
keeps on shrinking. So I'm like, look, y'all, and there's a reason. It is in a mall anyway, and they about to tear down part of the mall. How you
Mm.
tearing down part of the mall and keeping the other part open? How they do this?
Hmm. It's no bueno.
I'm
It's
like,
lacking bueno.
just let it go.
Yeah.
But
Ah,
anyway, y'all, we got some things to talk about. And and
we
and
do.
the and this in my the asshole, she was a little bit of the asshole.
She was
Yeah, I wasn't feeling her. Um,
adjacent at the bare
yeah.
minimum.
There are some other growth opportunities that she's talking about her age that need to happen. Let's put it that way.
Growth opportunities. Yes, sir.
Some growth opportunities there. Um, but let's talk about boundaries and let's talk about just kind of what you listen to or how you're allowed to have your feelings. Your feelings are valid in
Mm.
time. Okay. I will give my story, my testimony, so to say. No. So as most of y'all know, if y'all been following me on Instagram and stuff like that, I've been working on my Frock Tales look for Chicago because we are less than a month out. Jesus, help me.
Mm.
And I had picked this Berta pattern. It was a vintage Berta pattern, and I was like, "Oh, I'm about to be killed." All this good stuff made a muslin of the jacket. Y'all, I tried and I can't. I tried, and Jesus said no.
Ah, Jesus said no.
Jesus said no, no, put that down. Like there was so many needs to make this thing work from taking it in at the shoulders, taking it up between my neck and my waist
Mm.
in the back. The front was fine mostly. The sleeves, I would have to redraft the sleeves. It was a two-piece sleeve at that because it was just a lot of extra fabric in the
Oh
sleeves,
wow.
then taking it up or taking it out at the hips and everything like that. And I was posting my progress on Instagram throughout this and then on every place else. And as I was doing this, like people were just coming in with suggestions. You need to do this, you need to do that. This needs a dark, this needs a place, you need to help work. That does not help me. You have to
Mm.
understand that I know why I sew. I sew because I like the process of sewing. Sometimes
Mm.
I don't care about the end result.
Mm.
Okay. So one thing I hate doing is fitting on my own body, because it requires me to look at my body critically. Something
Mm.
I like to do because normally I'm just looking in the mirror on a day-to-day basis and I look at myself critically. When I sew, I usually don't.
Mm.
Okay. even as my body has changed, so like even as my body has changed and stuff like that, things that used to fit, like I'm not a straight size anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Um, the hips don't lie now. I'm like, where these come from? I'm trying to figure it out. I'm trying to figure it out, child. So like needing more room in the hips, or like literally, I made a button-up shirt. Why is it tight in the hips when it gets down to the hip? I'm like, what the
I
hell
mean,
is
like,
this?
what that booty do, Julian?
Nothing. That's the problem. It's hip bone. But yeah, so just kind of dealing with that, it's like I just will spiral, and I don't do well with certain criticisms. I don't do,
Mm,
and I will spiral. So literally,
yeah,
that was this weekend, and people trying to help, and I'm like, you're not helping me. You're not. This is not helping me because I'm just
yeah,
literally in like amped, anxiety on 10, just was not feeling good about it. Um, and it's no fault of anybody else's because y'all know when I'm online, I'm usually very nice, very congenial. I'm amendable to a lot of different things that we listen and all that other good stuff. And I'm usually able to like, shoot a fact, spit out the bones of what I need to do, you know?
yeah.
But here it hit, and as I'm up here working with somebody to work on fixing it, I do have friends that I can go to for these problems who have a lot more experience I trust in this process. Um, getting like it just ding, 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 and I'm like, oh, sweet Jesus, y'all shut up. That's what I was thinking. Literally in a night, I think I end up doing 3 reels on this first jacket.
Yeah. Like, I definitely saw you putting in the work to share about it.
Mm-hmm.
And I also feel very similar. Like, I
Mm-hmm.
I think we are very similar in that yes, when it comes to us,
Mm-hmm.
it feels differently when I see what I need to do in the mirror
Mm-hmm.
versus hearing from others.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so I feel like we internalize that very similarly. Like as I was watching you do the shares, I wasn't reading the comments because I tend to not read other comments.
Oh yeah,
Um,
we
I
know
was
better.
just I really feel like I was just more amazed at the determination that you had, and I was like, wow, he gonna make this fit. He said he gonna make this shit fit. It's gonna fit.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like I was just like, wow, he's incredible with this craft, right? Because your girl would have been like, I took that seam ripper out one good time.
Child,
That's all
look.
we got. That's all we got. That's all we
Look,
got.
look, and we
And
were
another
close
one.
to it. I mean, literally to the point where I was just about ready to like not like normally I would just be like, oh, okay, no, and
Yeah.
try different things. And luckily, and what did we do today? We chose a whole nother pattern that
And
I
it
feel
looks
about.
fantastic, actually.
I feel so much better about, and I feel more confident. I guess I needed a redemption. I needed a redemptive arc in this
Hmm.
process, and I
Hmm.
feel better about where this is going. And it's still giving me the vibe that I wanted, which is good. Um, but what I started saying in the videos is like, no soul splaining, please. So
So explaining.
so explaining. So I remember having this conversation with Jessica Tricurious on
Hmm.
Instagram, and she also talks about like, I don't want to, I'm just sharing. Don't tell me nothing. She would tell people that. And I coined it like we were having a conversation, like, so you don't want people to explain to you. And that's what it is. And sometimes I just want to share, just share my process.
Sometimes I just want to share. Ooh.
Mhm. And not, I don't want the help from you. I don't know you. And not all help is helpful
Mm,
if I don't have the ear to listen at that
yeah.
moment. And when it's coming from it like anonymous people online, it don't always work. You have to realize, especially for us, we get that there's a lot of people giving anonymous comments and everything else on all different aspects,
Yeah.
and we don't want it,
It's so
especially.
hard to take it in though. It really is. It's
Mhm.
really, really hard. Um,
Mhm.
it's hard to take it in and not feel like it's an attack on the body, it's an attack on our skill set, it's an attack on and like I hate it when people are just like, well, what do you expect? You're posting it online, you know? And like I understand because I've been in the online business for years now, right?
Right.
and I get it. 100% I understand. But at the same time, like, we're still people. And if
Mm.
I'm being completely honest, like, becoming callous is not what I want to do. Like, I don't feel like I need to become more callous in order to be able to um absorb or accept or, be able to take what people are saying. I do think that sometimes, just like how, like, if you were to call me and be like, oh yeah, like such and such happened at work, right? And I
Mhm.
go right into giving you advice. Sometimes, like, it's like, whoa, can you pause? Because I was actually just calling to vent
Right.
versus giving advice. Sometimes we just want to share. We don't necessarily want fit tips. We don't
Right.
want tips on how our body looks. Like, yeah.
Or also too, if that is the case, do not put it in a comment on a video. There are certain things that you should then message somebody to
Mhm.
that is so much more well received
Yeah.
than just kind of coming out, your ass is out here and you need to. I'm like, it comes off real rah-rah.
Mhm.
And
Mhm.
and
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 we don't
mm,
and people don't know how we're feeling that day. So you could have already been feeling raw,
yeah,
receive that and be like, "You know what? I'm actually gonna sell all of my fucking machines because I'm done.
I'm
I'm
done.
finished sewing."
I'm done. And
Yeah.
what y'all gonna do then? What y'all gonna do then? No,
Obviously, we just gonna be up
nothing.
here chatting about it.
But it was, I think we need to learn how to talk to people. Like, where's the old church mothers who knew how to pull people aside? Like, hey, baby, let me talk to you. You know,
Not the old church mother pull aside, but you're right. I
but like,
feel like,
I'm tired of the open critique and review. Tired of
mm,
it. It was interesting. I was
yes.
watching a YouTube video of the Not So Christian Congregation or something like that, or Holy Smokes and Cigars or something like that. One of
Okay.
these, something I follow online, and he was saying that, talking about, so glad that we're not in a space where people have to get circumcised anymore to be part of a tradition or a religion. But he
Mhm.
said physically no, but people are still having to deal with that mentally and emotionally,
Yeah.
through critique or having to let go of their beliefs or having free thought or stuff like that. And here it's like, I'm like, literally, sometimes I think people are so scared to share stuff because they are scared of that. That's the part that people don't like want. Like, especially if you're coming new to a hobby or something like that, or even going to fractals, I think people are scared that people are going to start lifting up stuff and looking at scenes and open critiquing them.
Yeah. Yeah. What's funny is that I remember Terrence was speaking about that when he was talking about how nervous he was to like send his like his items to
Hmm.
other sewists because he was like, I don't want for them to judge. And it's funny because like I've ordered his headbands before and I love them, but I do check out, not in a way to judge, but just to see how what his chosen construction method was, right?
Hmm.
Um, like I am curious and I feel like being able to kind of see these things actually makes me better because it might offer like a different way of doing something. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Right.
But because we work or because we function in a space where um everyone feels pressed to share their level of expertise. It's almost like this comparison of in the very misogynistic way of like just to see who's got the bigger dick. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
Like who has the most knowledge, who is the smartest, who has the highest skill set, who is the best at this. It's almost like there's this constant competition. And if we are always showing this level of expertise, then we'll be seen as the best. And it's like there's more than one way to do the thing, and just because
Absolutely.
I don't wanna do it your way doesn't mean that I'm wrong, and it doesn't make you any less of an expert, it just simply means that I'm choosing to do something different, right? For example, like, the notion that I don't want to always hide my stomach is lost on a lot of professional, and I say professional loosely, but lost on a lot of professional stylists or sewists or designers, right? Because
Right.
we're supposed to be designing to appear smaller, or we're supposed to be designing so that we are easier on society's gaze. And one of the things to do that is, one, to appear smaller or
Mhm.
easier on the eyes. And I don't understand why, if I don't subscribe to that, that I'm wrong
When
or
literally
what
you
I'm
are shaped like an ancient god.
right.
Let's be real. We all know what the what is it? The high toss little model looks like. You are
Hmm.
shaped like a goddess.
Well, thank you, Julian.
I'm
Thanks.
just saying. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Historically, you are shaped like a goddess. You are
Right.
shaped like fertility. You're shaped like bountifulness. You're shaped like nurturing and all that good stuff. But that's not what we value right now. We value
Right.
skeletal. I'm
Right.
just saying. Not to
Right.
say no. We ain't talking about nobody's body. Don't y'all come up in
We
our
are not
comments
doing
acting
that. That's
crazy.
not what we're
Don't
doing.
you do it. Don't you
Right.
you will come out quickly. Don't come for me. I
Yeah.
ain't sending you. But
That
I
part.
think it is very interesting, and I think that is the dark side of the sewing community. Even like in these groups, like on Facebook, like people do that all the time, and I'm like, I ain't asked for
All
that.
the
It
time.
was interesting in a group I was in. I posted my pictures from Frog Tales of my
Yeah.
look. They're like, the yellow shirt's really great. I guess I'm just not fashionable enough to like that the Kurta. I'm like, child, nobody asked you.
I didn't I didn't
I
actually
didn't,
say, "Do you like this?"
didn't
I said,
ask.
"Look at what I made."
Yes, I just was sharing and
Those are two totally different prompts.
but I guess but felt the need to put I'm like, honey, I don't care. I really don't care. I do not care. And I need people to understand this because people may not understand this, but understand that first of all, I can't because of my brand of Julian Creates, it's not my thing to pop off. That's not how I do things. I am very much a call in, not a call out person.
Mhm.
If it comes down to things, like I'll message you like, wait a minute, let's chat about this. And I said those things. It's just I try to be very much adult about different things. But
Mhm. Mhm.
also I need y'all to understand in my professional life, I have clauses that I have signed. I can't show my ass on the internet like sometimes I want to. And can't talk to people because like things are connected. And we can always do what? Protect the bag. Y'all hear me?
Right. At the end of the
So
day, if it doesn't make dollars, it doesn't make sense.
look, and that's with with brands as well as just with my brand, and that's just how that when I think about being Christ-like in the world, that's what I feel like what it looks like to me.
Yeah.
That's part of my expression of that.
Right.
Um, but y'all be trying to knock me out of that. Look, and I just gotta keep on telling you, I already done got my brochure for hell and
I got
started
my
making my outfits
brochure
for it. We
of
about to
the
do a whole little
bad.
me made capsule collection for hell. Don't try
Listen,
to
I
push me
already
there
told
quicker.
Satan I was running shotgun. So,
Look, I am on air hell. Y'all hear me? Air Hades.
not airhill.
Business class.
I
Play with
cannot.
it. But anyway,
Said
I'm just
I got elite gasoline to drench my drawers in.
look. It's right 93 octane. No, jet fuel. You hear me?
Jet fuel.
Jet fuel
You said that
on the
expensive stuff.
thong.
Mhm. I mean, go
But
big or go home, right?
people like and I'm like, but this is like people need to realize that just because you have a mouth, you ain't always got to use it. Just because you got fingers, don't mean you always like. There's certain things like I need y'all to understand the joy and looking at something and commenting in your head and letting it go.
Commenting
It's
it
such
in
a
your
beautiful
head.
thing.
Yeah. I
Under,
really feel like more people need to understand that just because you think it or just because you do it doesn't mean that it's for everyone. You know what I'm saying? Like I that is that there is probably the single most annoying thing to me. And of course, I have experienced that, one being plus size, right? Because like I remember
Mhm.
the very first time that I started to gain traction on TikTok was I did a transition video of like styling. um it was for Patterns for Pirates, and it was like styling this t-shirt and these pants, like, that are coordinated in different ways. And people were
Mhm.
like, "Oh my god, you're fupa, like, those pants don't fit, blah, 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 blah." And it's like, "Okay, all right. Like, and then somebody was like, all these people in here are being nice to you, but nobody would say that to your face. Like, okay. I don't know why y'all are so mean or like what you get off on being so mean to people. And
Right.
of course I deal with it with using a projector to sew, and people are like, that's not even real. That's not how you're not a real sewist because you use a projector. Like, okay, because I don't want to tear up some fucking tissue paper. I'm not real. Like, okay, thank you. Thanks so
Look,
much. Just wanted to invite you to join me in the 21st century, dear. But like, I think that we need to move away expeditiously from this notion that we are the only experts when it comes to certain things, right? Like, um, it's funny because I remember I was teaching the Closet Core Peter Pants. My first time teaching it was like maybe a month or two ago. One of the students, she was actually there for Fractales. She was there with the Friday night at Top Stitch Atlanta because she was like, I just cannot get this elastic in. I'm trying to follow the instructions and it just doesn't make sense for me. Right. So she
mhm.
actually came to my class last weekend. She's so lovely. I love having her in class. And so I said to her, I said, listen, we did it the way that was in the instructions last class. I'm going to show you how I actually do it because this is not the way. I showed her how I did it and she was like, "Oh my gosh, this was so much easier and I got it." Like she walked out of class with her completed plants and looked amazing, right? But I'm not going to
Mhm.
go to Closet Court and be like, "Your directions are wrong. Your tutorial is awful. This is not the way to do that." Like, no. I simply found a different way that worked for me and that worked for like my students, and that's fine too, right? Like the notion that there's more than one way to do the thing really feels like it gets lost on people, or that you have an iota of expertise in this area that you have been dedicating your life to for so long. Like, how many sewing machines do you have?
Not enough. 65, but I'm just
What?
saying.
I'm not here to judge.
It
But what I'm
felt
saying is
like
that,
you tried to, but it's okay.
mm,
You're.
but
Hmm.
if you have this many machines, do you know that I'm gonna think to myself, Julian knows what the fuck he's doing? Because why else would he have invested time, money, effort into this?
Because I lost my mind, but it's okay. Hmm.
Obviously.
I mean,
Obviously, that's the real answer, you
you know.
know?
Okay.
And I'm just like, this is always so mind-boggling to me because it's like
But and here's the thing,
people.
even with all those owning all of that, and I don't tell people which one to get. I say you got to get what works best.
Right,
You, because you
right,
are the only expert at being you. When you get into sewing, you are the only one who is going to know how you like to do it.
exactly.
And I need people to understand, like literally, we do so along. Do y'all really pay attention? Because we do not follow the instructions on most of them, or
Let me
we
tell you
change
something.
them
If you
up.
follow any of my sewing lines, I did not follow them instructions. Chances are I didn't even look at the tutorial. I'm gonna just be 100% honest.
I at least look about it a little bit. I look at the pictures, and if the pictures ain't working, or if I see hand sewing, I'll take it out because I know how my
You
people
said
work.
I take out the hand sewing because for what? Why are we doing that?
Well, because
Needle
I
and
know
thread?
y'all.
Absolutely not. Not outside of machine.
I know how y'all. I know how people do, and they ain't gonna do that.
It is facts.
Hmm.
Yeah. Like
Hmm.
for my summer pattern, I don't think I looked at those instructions.
Hilarious.
I don't think I did.
Hilarious, y'all. But that's real. That's real. And that's coming from perspective, or even as you were seeing now with a lot of new like pattern, like people coming out doing patterning and stuff like that.
Mhm.
People are doing it from a space of like a professional. It's different because a lot of times it is a lot simpler, a lot easier, but it's a lot more straightforward. A lot of the things that we have in garments, you don't see in made to measure. Like a lot of
Mm-mm.
the easing and stuff like that, they take a lot of that out.
Mhm.
They do. So like having to learn better how to handle that and all that good stuff, it takes a little bit of time. It does. But it is, I think it's worth it, definitely. When you figure out what works best for you.
Mm.
Then you can literally like once you know basics of stuff, you can then break all the rules if you want to.
Break all of them.
Because I remember somebody was posting about how I was doing some content on serger, and they said, "Well, once I learned couture finishing, using a serger was cheap." I'm like, "Child, I know how much my serger costs. Ain't nothing cheap about it."
Not mine either. Do you know I
So
actually asked Denver? Oh, I think I asked him actually on the podcast when he was on. I was like, "Do you know how much my machines are worth?" And he was like, "Yeah, it makes me want to take out like an extra policy just to cover them
I need to.
because just
Yeah.
in my office period,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
Just in here,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
Like what I record this, like my desktop itself is, I don't know how many inches. This is like some 24, 26 inch, Mac desktop, you
Mm-hmm.
know? Um,
Mm-hmm.
then I've got the L890, I've got the B590, right? I've got my projector, I've got, you know what I mean? Like
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
we didn't
I
invest
mean,
this because we were just over here like for shits and giggles.
no, no. I mean, literally, just in my room alone, from the industrial to the B79 to some of the other to the 830, the B830, which was the former top of the line, um, to the vintage ones, to the over 100-something-year-old vintage ones.
To the.
Yeah, I mean, like I think I counted it up. If we looked at MSRP values of machines that I have in my space currently, we're looking at least 10 to 12. No. Oh, I'm off.
No, way more than that.
Yeah. Oh, shit. 25 maybe.
I
And we
actually
look
would
at
probably
MSRP.
estimate closer to 50.
That's just the ones in my room currently.
Oh, just in your room. Yes. That
Currently,
makes sense.
not all of my machines.
Yeah. And that's the thing is that like I'm not saying that I'm an expert because I
Hmm.
always feel like there's more space to learn and I and
Oh
I
yeah.
do love
I'm
it.
always learning. That's the reason I love to do what I do. It's always a new experience.
Precisely.
Hmm.
But also
I know a little
I
something.
do know a little bit, just a couple things about what I'm doing, you know?
Hmm.
Um and I don't necessarily I don't, it's funny because I feel like it's been so long since I've really gotten any kind of feedback. It's funny because now that I'm thinking about it, um, that I haven't asked.
Hmm. So, and I need to learn your ways then, because clearly people love to give it to me without solicitation,
Yeah,
you know?
I don't even know. I'm gonna say I don't know what I did because I feel like there was a point in time where I was always getting the comments that were like, "Oh, you're fat, you need to lose weight," or "Oh, why would your husband want," you know what I mean? And
Child, I
then,
wish they would. See, then I would lose it. See.
but see, my thing is like this. One, like I've had the conversation of, "Oh, I need to lose weight," and people be like, "Oh, but you're so pretty. You're still pretty." Like, bitch, I didn't say I was ugly, okay? Because even if the waist card declines, the face card will not, okay?
Look, there's
And
no
here's
correlation between the
what
two.
did all them reels say or them TikToks say? Good punani needs protection.
It needs shelter.
It needs
Home,
shelter,
home needs
right?
shelter. Y'all
Right.
hear?
So that's all I can offer up there, right? But also, I have an excellent personality and I'm so fucking funny. You know what I'm saying? And I make
Look,
beautiful kids too.
look, look. I think there comes a point where we just need to know what to accept, like, and just move on. Just kind of just like,
Yeah.
oh, okay. And
Yeah.
it's hard sometimes, and we get knocked off our circle. Like and I think this weekend was a knocked off us off circle moment.
Yeah.
For-
Did you see
Um,
the post that I put up on Instagram on Iran could be cold today?
hmm. Hmm.
I feel like that was also maybe meant for you as well because like
It
I
was.
feel like I'm finally at this point and I don't know if it's because I turned 40 or what, right? Because they say once you turn 40 you stop caring about so many things. So I don't know, it might be that, it might not be that, right? But like I
Hmm.
literally just be like, "Why are you talking to me?" And then just move on like
Look,
cuz here's what I'm not going to do. One, it's funny because somebody was like, "Oh, I'm not about to be arguing with strangers on the internet." here's the thing. I don't argue with people, period. I'm not arguing with my kids. I don't argue with
Right.
my husband because we have discussions, and I'm definitely not about to be arguing with nobody on the internet. If you
Again, and
like
I'm not
it,
gonna
I
argue with
love it.
nobody. I don't sleep with, don't live in my house, don't pay a bill. Now, if
Because
you
for
want to
what?
start paying bills in said house, I can send you my Venmo, my Cash App, or my Zelle, and
Then we
I will
might be able
send
to
you
have a
an invoice
conversation.
if you need it too. Mm-hmm.
But yeah, no, I don't.
Mm-hmm.
But I also, and
And you
I don't
better
know
pay
what
more
it
than a
is. I
minimum.
think it's because I stopped giving the people who were dropping their feedback attention. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like I just literally stopped responding to it. And it was like cool. Like cool story.
Right. That's cute, but I'm
Yeah.
good. Yeah.
Or I
Mm-hmm.
would hit it with like the most passive aggressive, like a thumbs up or something, like, oh, I don't think she liked that. You know what I mean?
Right. Right.
Um, that wasn't outwardly rude, but like, at the same time, it's like a protect your peace, because like I do feel like because we are on social media and because we do share a lot about ourselves on social media, that
We do.
people cross boundaries and
They
cross the
do.
line, um, because there's a
Far too
level
long.
of comfort that they've gained with us. But I also feel like it's important, for us to protect our peace in what we allow in as well. You know what I
Right.
mean?
Right. And
Like,
I think we are allowed to take the moments to do that for ourselves. We need to do
absolutely,
that more often.
absolutely.
It's
And I do also feel like it's okay as a commenter to ask, like, hey, are you looking for feedback here or were you just sharing to share? You know, Very much so, like how in conversation, it might feel awkward to say, hey, are you venting to vent or are you venting for
the
feedback?
solution. Right.
You know, I think that it makes us better humans for each other, right? Like, we're able to, like, I remember growing up, I used to be called tactless, right? Because, um, one, your girl's always had mouth on her. What can we say, right? But also, I didn't really understand the definition of tact, right? People would say I was being tactless, but I wasn't, right? Because I was actually intending to offend. The person was offended. So I feel like I had tact because that
You
was the
you had
impact
some,
was meeting the intent.
yes.
When you're tactless, your impact is not meeting your intention and you're missing the mark, right?
Mhm.
So I do feel like asking for clarity is okay because it allows us to be more tactful
Mhm.
communicators and more cognizant, and we're able to communicate in a more efficient way as opposed to missing the mark and being perceived as something that maybe we didn't intend on being perceived as. You know what I mean?
Mhm. Mhm. Y'all, she was just saying that I was shooting to kill at the moments that I was really trying to hurt. I was hurting feelings, left, right, and
I
sideways.
mean, if your feeling was hurt, then it feels to me like
I was
I did my
successful.
job. I was
Right. I was
successful.
successful.
I had success.
So she's just saying she was not tactless, she was a winner. And that's all that matters. I'm just
Listen,
saying. But any hoodles, you know.
where they say I ain't a killer, but don't push me. You feel me?
Look, look. I think just as we just need to we need to get back to a place of interpersonal communication and
Ooh, come
just
on with
hey,
these big words. Interpersonal communication.
we
Yes.
do like learn how to talk to each other. And there needs to be almost like you need to go through a class on digital interpersonal communications. Because
Mm-hmm.
I think people just feel that they can just give whatever they want to give, and it ain't always what needs to be given. And especially like in crafting and sewing, yes, you trying to come off as helpful, but understand that some people have separated from parents and loved ones because they do stuff like this without warrant and without
Yeah.
want. That does
Yeah.
not work for everyone.
It doesn't
You
work
do
for
not
everyone.
have the space to do that, especially when people don't know you.
Yeah. And I think that um in the world today, right, where conversational competence is not something that is actively pursued or practiced, it is something
Mhm.
that we need to have greater conversations on so that way people can understand that we are not trying to persuade others to do the same thing that we are doing. We are merely sharing the process in which we develop our fit, etc., our process, right? And
Mhm.
it is helpful, right? It's helpful to the person who is a lurker and just likes to watch the content versus comment and do all the things, right? It's really helpful, period, because sewing is such a like this is an individual sport. This is not a team sport. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of
Right.
times, unless
It's
you
like
have enrolled
meditation.
exactly. And
Mhm.
if you haven't enrolled in courses, right, like watching people manipulate fabrics or how they sew or how they place their hands, right? Um, Unless you're watching someone up close and personal, figuring it out on your own can be hard. So sometimes we just share these things to help other people with the visualization of what the process is, right? This is just
Absolutely.
one version of the process, one version of the fit process, right? Like how
Hmm.
I showed how like my areolas were out saying, "Hey, hello, hi, how are you?" in like my muslin version of like the top that I wore to, what was it? Frocktails, right?
How do you forget your older midnight?
Listen, okay, because next week we start planning 2025. Your girl needed 2 weeks off. But
And you allowed it. Okay.
thank you.
It's okay. Hmm.
Julian is also on the committee. He's day up though.
But I'm also I'm calling myself an ambassador, so
I like that. I like that.
I will be
I like
part of
that.
the street team from afar in
Mhm.
prep for the day
I love it
or the
all
weekend.
because that's
The
what we
weekend.
need. That's exactly what I need in life, period.
Look,
But yeah, like
I'm
even
gonna do.
showcasing that, right? Like somebody, like the amount of comments that I'd gotten that were like, thank you so much for sharing this because I don't want to share because I'm scared that it's not perfect, right? But why
Right.
are people scared to share because it's not perfect? Because we have everyone jumping down people's throats saying, "Oh, that's not right. That's not how it's so supposed to fit. It doesn't look good on your body, etc." Like, yeah, no wonder people are scared to post because that's not what they're posting for. They're looking for, "Hey, you did a great job in finishing this garment.
Yes.
Fantastically done."
Yes. And I think we need to get back to like it's again, and we talked about this before as we talked about the childlike the innocence of creativity. It's like you lose that and
Yeah,
expect the perfection and you then do it like a job. And literally this is an escape from work for most
right.
of us.
Yeah,
And that is part of the mystic and the magic of it.
yeah,
And so do not allow people to take that away from you. And I think we are just at a point now where we need to protect our own magic. That's what I'm doing. I
yeah.
need to start
Ooh,
protecting my
protecting your
own magic,
magic. Yeah,
especially if they're
yeah.
talking about the Black Fae days and stuff like that. Like, it's important to protect your magic,
It
to
is.
protect
It is.
your inner chi. And if the creativity helps you get there, and you want to share that process, protect your inner chi from all. Like you protect it like it's your mama, the mama that you
Exactly.
like, not the mama that you don't like. Or choose another figure if you disconnect it from your mama. I'm just saying. But you protect it like you about to fight a bitch on the street. You know what I'm saying? For
Yeah.
yours. And so I think putting up the boundaries, putting it in your like it might come to the point where I gotta put sorry, no soul splaining in my bio. Don't do it. Don't
Yeah.
do it.
There was someone who I wanna say did that.
Jasika.
Um, no, someone because I was thinking I had seen it not yesterday, but I wanna say, like, last week where and I was like, "Oh, wow, that's really dope. I like that so much."
I think some other people because it's like that's not what I'm here for. That's not I don't know you.
Yeah.
That's the biggest thing. It's like it's almost like it becomes stranger danger because I'm like you're asking me to do that. I'm like I don't know you, or I don't. That's not how I operate,
Yep.
and we're about to be at that point. Like it's okay. I don't
Yeah.
know you, but
Yeah.
that's a choice because I'm here to sew because I just want to sew something. The same way that I always have little scraps of fabric that I can put under a machine even when I don't have anything else to do.
Mhm.
That's what makes me
Mhm.
happy.
Yeah.
So allow me to do my puzzle, and however my puzzle comes out, that's how I did it, and I feel
That's
good
how I
about
did
it
it.
sometimes. When I want information or if I want to make it better, I will let people know, and I will let the people know that I trust to help me.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
think that's so important, right? Um,
So
of course,
people, I have a question for people
ooh,
for the
ask the
week.
people the question. Yes.
What boundaries are you wanting to set for yourself in sewing with others?
Mm,
It might be different from mine. So what boundaries do you want to set? Is it that you tired of people telling you need a better machine, that you need
Hmm.
certain tools or something like that? What are your boundaries that you want to set?
Dang, people are out here saying that you need like people need better machines.
Child, not I luckily I think most people are okay. Or as people ask like what is the best machine for beginners, I'm like, I think people are scared of getting it wrong. Now, I would say like my first machine that I was gifted was wrong for me, for me. But it works. I know people who have the same machine and love it. Um,
Mm,
but in the machine that was best for me was a vintage straight stitch when I started.
yeah,
And not be good for others. So
great.
or people like, as we were even talking about like Singer versus other brands or something like that. I'm like, get the machine that works for you, that you can afford, that you
Yeah.
feel like,
I feel like
or
people
or
expect the stuff the
irons or
elitist.
pins or thread. Now, okay, sometimes I'm a little elitist on thread. I am partial to certain threads. I'll be
Okay,
real
well,
honest.
actually, can we put a pin in this? Can we pause here? For
Yes.
your serger, are you using MaxiLock?
What am I using right now? No, right now I'm using Metler and Foff. Hmm.
Never mind it. We gonna move on from this conversation.
But I do have MaxiLock. I do have MaxiLock as well.
No, it's too late now, Julian. It's too late now. You and
I
your
pr-
elitist thread.
well, Metler
Too late.
is
It's too late.
basically thread,
It's too
and the
late
Foff
to apologize.
Tidy Lock I like a little bit better. That's where I'm at. But I have used MaxiLock, and sometimes I'm like, yeah, I have other ones that I like
Mm,
a little bit better.
okay.
But that's just from my experience and what works best for me. This, like with the Burnett, because of the way that it cuts a little bit, cuts different. I want to try Maxi Lock with it, just because it is the way that I've been sewing with it, it has been cutting closer. So meaning that there's more lint anyway. So I wonder just see if that's going to help cut down on some of it. I'm gonna try it.
Mm, hmm,
Haven't done
hmm.
it yet. But a thread is now what I will say, because I remember I've tried, like I've gone to the Asian stores, the Asian markets that sometimes sell everything, including thread. When I tell you my machines will chew it up, spit it out, I don't have to rebuy bobbins. Like literally bobbin cases. It doesn't
Yeah.
my
You
machine
know what?
off.
So on Brenda, the B590, right? Like
Hmm.
I don't use anything besides like, we're bougie with her, right?
Yeah, yeah.
But I feel like on my L890, right?
Hmm.
Like your girl's gonna put in some maxi lock. Why? Because listen, listen. Like I'm just like, look, it's I need for it to last. Like I need to have a lot of thread on there. And I need to not pay 4 arms and 3 legs for it. You know what I'm saying? Because I use it so much,
Right,
right?
right. That's true.
But I definitely I got a text message from Amberly when she saw how I ordered Maxi Lock from Wawa. She was like, "We need to have a conversation." And I was like,
That you got
"Not me
caught
in
in the
trouble. Like, not me in trouble." Your girl was like,
I would do Maxi Lock a lot. Like a lot of my variegated threads are Maxi Lock.
"Yeah, same."
I'll be 100% honest. But yeah, most
Also,
of my,
Metler, if you're trying to sponsor your girl, go ahead, send me some threads. I
oh, I
use
love,
them.
yeah, we love Metler. I mean, that's what these machines are really made for, is Metler. But again, we not being bougie, y'all. This is from our experience.
It's true, unfortunately.
It's from our experience of how these, like, what operates and what works. It works. And you can see a difference.
I
That's
hate
my
the accuracy of that though. Like, I just want to be like, oh man, we're bougie for no reason, but we aren't.
no, not in this case.
Mm-mm.
But we try to prove a point, and I feel like we mess it up our own way.
I know. I
But
know.
y'all, but again, you get to decide what you sell for. You get to decide
Yeah.
what makes you happy in the process. For me, fitting and like perfect everything ain't where like that ain't what I always need, and I'm okay with that
Yeah.
because I want to sew, and I like the process of sewing things is what makes me happy.
Yeah. I love
That's
that
what
as well.
that's what it
Yeah.
is.
The process doesn't
So
make me happy. I'm not saying it doesn't make me happy, but your girl is like,
that ain't it for you. Yeah.
I need immediate gratification. Like, I'm not like the fact that you're taking us on this real long journey. Like, I was trying to take us on this journey for Kalima's dress.
You
Um,
was. You finished it in a day.
First of all, I finished it in like 2 hours.
You did. I know you
And the
did.
only reason why it even took that long is because I kept pausing because I was like, oh, let me record this. But then I was like, oh, I'm not going to record me sewing because y'all know what I look like sewing. Like, I was
I
like,
mean, you
never
gave us
mind.
you gave us some pieces. You gave us a little something. You gave us
I gave a little something, right?
a little razzle
But
dazzle.
like that's just not that's I don't want to say that's not my strong suit and that's not what I enjoy, but I will say that that's just like I feel like I get so lost in the process that I don't pay attention to it.
Hmm.
So it's very rhythmic for me. It's very, before I know it, we're finished. And I'm like, oh,
Right.
that. When did I just start? You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, whereas you're like, oh man, look at this. I'm about to press the hell about this. Like, look at my anti-gravity, whatever the fuck it's called, iron over here pressing stuff. Like, and every time I have to move, I'm like, oh, I'm reminded that I'm in the process of sewing.
You know what? You know what?
You're like also trippy. You're like, I love this. I'm about to make another button down that has 455 different steps, and I'm gonna do it all, and I'm gonna do it all joyously. And I'm like, I have to iron again. I'm not finished pressing the hell about this shirt yet.
I just want to show you, even with the muslin, I went through and pressed all my seams.
I can't stand you.
And look at the seam allowance. Can you see it? The 1/4 inch seam allowance is on this pattern.
I can't stand you because I swear I look at all of my Oliso irons.
Mm-hmm.
Right, as we can see, I have one out behind me.
Mm-hmm.
I In this picture, you can see 2 out of 4 of them. And none of them make me feel happy when I have to use them. I'm never like, "Oh my god, I can't wait to press."
And meanwhile, I'm over here, my arms are behind me or in behind the camera here. And right, I mean, I have 4 gravity feeds, I have 2 Laura Stars, I have 2 steam generator Rowentas, and switch them out depending on the need. And the Rowentas are nice, but they were not staying on. And my Laura Stars do. So I'm back to my Laura Star lift. I like that iron the most right now because I don't have to worry about having a water tank up. Because
I want
sometimes
you
it's,
guys to know that I'm over here rolling my eyes at Julian right now
which is fine. I'm just
because
saying,
he definitely just named like 14 different irons and was like, "I just use them depending upon my need because I like how Laura Star stays on." Meanwhile, I'm like, "Let me wrap this shit back up before it thinks it needs to be used again."
you know. And
Like,
meanwhile,
don't get
my
any ideas.
and meanwhile, my Lord Star will stay on for hours, ready to
Mm-mm.
go, as I'm sewing
Like
on a
mine is unplugged.
It literally is the first thing when I enter my room. It's the first thing that goes on before sewing machines.
No.
I gotta
Mm-mm.
start getting ready to get
And the
hot.
iron is quite literally the last thing that and now don't get me wrong because like I'm getting there. I'm getting over this hatred because like I
You
have
are
an artisan clapper that I love to use and you can't use the clapper without the iron, right?
correct, correct.
But now I'm like, "Oh my goodness, I need all of these like tailor's hams because I'm like, oh, I need one for like pressing out my sleeves really nicely." And I'm just like, "Oh."
Mhm. I have them.
Like I'm just like I feel like the process of sewing is getting longer and longer. Like
Now, no, do I iron and press ready-made garments? No,
no.
never, never.
But
But do
also
I?
I feel like I don't press my knits as I'm making them, right? At the end, they get a good
Come
press.
on. Yeah, I won't press every like knits and stuff like that. I won't press it all.
Right.
Well, it depends. Depends on the knit. Depends on the
It
seam.
does depend on the knit because if that knit just be laughing at me when I'm pressing it, then I'm gonna call it out its name and be like, we just gonna wait to the end. Like
But
especially if I
sometimes,
try to do a
especially if I
memory
want,
hem and that
oh,
bitch
look,
be like, I can't remember anything, and be like, it's fine. We've learned.
look, look,
We're
it
moving on
did.
from this.
It
Yeah.
did. It did. But especially if I want certain seams to be open or something, yeah, like I gotta put a press there, if I need it. But I literally like I think and people, I press probably as much as I'm at a machine sewing.
I feel like I was pressing just about as much as I was at the machine for the is it the Kali? I think it's the Kalle. I call it Calle because in Spanish double L's
Oh,
have a y sound, and
yeah,
I don't know who they named it after. But for that shirt, I feel like I was ironing for a very long time.
right.
I do feel
But
like I was at my iron just as long as I was doing everything else.
but it's okay. It's all right. I
All
need
I
you to
know is that my
fix
shit
your
was
eyes.
crispy.
You look at still mad stressed when you think about this.
I am
Like,
stressed because also I may have just been ordering new fabric for me to possibly make some more.
see,
Thinking
look,
about all the
and Dr.
pressing.
be back at it, pressing.
I'm gonna be like Julian. I mean, his
Wait,
button downs always making me feel like I should be wearing button downs too.
wait till you start to think about when we start talking about like spearmint water and stuff like that to
Oh,
help in
but
your,
wait a minute.
yeah,
Wait, spearmint water
uh-huh.
for what?
It helps in pressing, especially like creases and stuff that you
I'm
want to
done
get.
with you. Goodbye.
I'm just saying.
I'm not giving my iron flavored water. Like
No, you don't put it in the iron. You spritz it and then you press on top. Mhm.
you telling me that my clothes is getting treated with essential oils.
A little bit. Look,
I'm
it's gonna
done.
be ready.
Mm-mm.
I mean, and we ain't even talking about like how many different types of press cloths do you have?
What?
Oh Jesus. Don't tell
I'm
me
done
that.
with you. No, I'm not.
So you don't have
Look,
like a cotton press cloth, you don't have a silk organza press cloth and everything like that. Y'all,
so,
we
so
don't we
now,
don't lost a lot.
so now my iron needs a satin bonnet as well. What the hell?
Honey, I keep
All
my
right, I'm
my,
done.
my silk organza press cloth are like my baby
A
blankets.
press
Like they
cloth is
are.
basically, it sounds like it's a bonnet for my iron. Okay, that's what it sounds like.
So you don't have an
I'm
iron
done.
shoe.
You know what, Julian? I'm done. This is where I'm setting the boundary. Like I feel like I'm being judged right now.
Says
I
the
feel
person who
like you're
judged me
trying to
about my
snatch
sewing
my
machine count.
edges.
You tried
Okay,
to judge me for my sewing machine count. I'm just returning the favor,
I'm
y'all.
just saying. I'm just like, wow. Can't believe the way
But
that y'all came
y'all,
for me like this.
if y'all want us to talk more about all the pressing tools, let me know. Put it.
Don't
Give
let us
us
know.
give us a comment. We'll
Don't
talk
do
about
that.
pressing tools. We'll do a whole episode on pressing tools
I mean, like, who is we?
and types of pens. We'll talk about all the different types of pens. Oh, see, now you find about that.
Well, I don't use pins, but I was about to tell you that, and you can see it behind my iron right there.
Hmm.
I'm so bad with mirror image. But So Tice actually sent me like their magnetic like part of their it's part of their magnetic system obviously. But you can use them like pins.
I
And so
need I need to I need to try.
they are the coolest thing. I'll have to do a demo for you offline. But
Yes.
I was like, this is amazing, right? Because like I don't particularly like to use pins because I feel like pins can tend to leave holes in garments, whatever. And if we're being completely honest, your girl is very clumsy and I'm tired of stabbing myself, right?
This side, yeah.
But these here, they come in multiple different sizes and they can like magnet it close. And I'm like, yeah, I like this.
And maybe after Proctors, I'll look at investing because did not I had to make a wall whack order today of tailoring supplies, um including like fronts, so the canvas fronts and stuff like that. I bought pre-made sleeve rolls, shoulder pads.
Why are
Um,
you so fancy?
I needed more interfacing. I bought some more stay tape, so I can like interface and do the roll line and everything like that. I spent almost $100 at Wawac today.
That's not bad though, honestly,
It's
because
not, but also I was like, child, for
you're gonna
one,
have it tomorrow.
true. I mean, they already sent me something saying it's on the way. Mhm, I
One
know.
thing about Wawa, they're gonna send your shit the same day.
It's gonna be stupid quick.
They said, we
Uh,
know you need this. I wish
quickly.
they sold fabric.
Look,
I
y'all.
wish
Do
they
y'all
sold fabric.
understand? Do you want to see? Do you want to see my fabric for? I got stuff for my shirt for Frocktails.
Julian, you
So,
know what? Let me tell you something. I am 100% here for the sheer Julian era. Okay?
so
I'm here
collars and
for it.
cuffs out of this.
Hmm. Yes.
This is the body.
Fully
Then,
subscribed.
then of course, remember. So this is the suit body. So we're doing all shades of blue,
50 Shades of Blue. He said, because
and this
who
is
needs
like the
gray?
lapels and stuff like that. With I also got shoes today, which are some silver platforms.
Let me tell y'all, the way that Julian is about to be shitting on the people in Chicago Fractals, like y'all thought that he was fine for New York and for Atlanta.
We
He's
trying
giving
something.
more sheer.
We
He's
trying
giving
something.
sheer.
With
Okay.
how we the
On
pants.
behalf of this sheer shirt, I feel like now I need to go out and make some sheer shit too.
Come
You
on.
know, every time you do something, I'm like, oh, let me do it. Let me do the girly version.
Look, come with it. This came from Joann's and it was on clearance. It was last chance.
Ho man's finest. Okay.
Yep.
You know, I
Six
got to go
dollars.
pick up lining fabric tomorrow.
It's 25% off, or at least it
Okay.
was today. But yeah, I'm excited. I think this will be cute.
That is gorgeous.
And then I'm gonna do like the placket and stuff will be in the satin with the satin cuffs and collar. So yeah, with a rhinestone bow tie. That's what I'm thinking.
The people will not be ready.
Honey, hopefully I will be. That's all I gotta matter. I gotta still make the outfit, the real outfit of it all.
It's going
I've
to be
been making
fantastic.
muslins. But yes, thank you. I believe in it. We believe I can fly. Amen.
And can.
Amen. Lord Jesus.
I'm so
Y'all,
excited.
we just talking to y'all, but y'all tell us, y'all gotta tell us if y'all want to know
Hmm.
more about ironing and pressing tools. No. But also what are your sewing boundaries or what are the boundaries that you feel that you need to set for your life? We want to hear from
Yeah,
you.
we do. Boundaries are bang. Okay.
Look,
Anytime you
boundaries
decide to
are mine.
set a boundary, you're choosing you and you're saying yes to yourself and no to people disturbing your peace. So get comfortable with the idea, not just the idea, but the actual implementation of these boundaries. And they don't even have to be loud. They can literally be the protection of your peace. Like,
Because it's
I'm not
just
even
for you.
addressing that.
It's just for you.
It's
It's
just for
whatever
you.
works for you.
Yeah.
So y'all, we want y'all to have a good week. If y'all going to Chicago Frock Sales with me,
Hootie
look,
hoo.
be ready. Be ready. And now they doing a boat ride the night before.
I saw that.
So people getting ready for that. I'm coming in the day of, so I'm not able to attend, but um, you know, it's we in go time, y'all. This is basically like prom season for adults. And we are out here making and baking. Y'all hear me? Making and baking.
Making and baking. That is what you were doing, Julian.
Look,
Hmm.
look, look. But yeah, y'all, we'll talk to y'all later. We hope that y'all have a wonderful, absolutely fantabulous rest of y'all week and into the new week. Until we talk to y'all next time, stay audacious and stay creating. Talk to y'all later.
Bye bye.